Nice practice tonight. The temperature was perfect. Mostly good versus good, but we did do some things that we were doing against our opponent, and it was very worthwhile. I like the first practice. So, questions?
Are you guys working on Texas Tech, or is this about improving your team?
Some Texas Tech, but mostly improving our team. We'll have some young guys goes that will be obviously in the back end of practice and entirely for those kids, our young guys.
With the amount of time that Dante Jackson and Tolliver got in the secondary, might we see a lot of improvement from them, even in the bowl game, just as young as they are, they get back to fundamentals?
Yeah, what happens is we go one-on-one, and it's a great opportunity for both the receiver and the secondary back to hone up on that down the field catch or that down the field defend, and how to outwork an offensive receiver to the ball. And I mean, it's good news is we get some big, strong, fast corners that will be tested in this bowl game.
Les, you said you're working on yourself a lot. What things are y'all doing specifically, when you look at just your team?
Well, we throw the ball in practice all the time, but we want specifically to have a greater efficient passing game. More completions, more yards, more. And so I think we've got a nice start to the game plan, and I think Coach Cameron's kind of got us headed in the right direction.
Brandon seemed to really improve in the middle part, and then maybe tallied off in some aspects the last few games. What did he maybe not do well?
He's really, I think he's got a great attitude going into bowl practice. His necessity, personal necessity to throw better and be more accurate is what he's working on, and it looks pretty good from here. And he's, I think he's got the right attitude, certainly in the right direction.
Les, can he be better with his technique?
Absolutely. And he's his footwork, his throwing motion is great. He just has to put his hips and his feet in the right spot. That's all.
On the shorter passes, does he sometimes throw a little too hard? Like, does he need a little more touch on those?
Yeah, sometimes. But again, that's something that it's just passer awareness. I mean, when he has it, it's a beautifully thrown ball.
Les, how did recruiting go right after the season ended?
Recruiting went relatively well. We probably lost a guy maybe, but we're really in position to have a great recruiting class.
You think you could get an elite type quarterback if you don't get the one you thought you were going to get?
Yeah, I think we can. I think there's that. I think there's just a couple of positions to consider there in terms of the quarterback spot and how to strategically play it. So, but I don't want to necessarily, go into that in depth. But I think that there's some quality plays there. You bet.
Speaking of recruiting, is it fair to say East Texas is your biggest area outside of Louisiana in terms of recruiting? And how does playing this game, you think, help your visibility?
Well, I think certainly being in Houston gives us great visibility for the state of Texas, and I think it's, Houston is regional news in Texas. I mean, it's going to be everywhere. So I think that's big, and I do think that Texas is very important to us. I also think that there's some Florida and some Miami in there that it's also frankly spot, gives us, kind of elevates our recruiting in that area.
Unless you're just talking about quarterbacks and stuff, when you, do you view Brandon as, this is the guy, you know, this is our future, or is it kind of like an open deal for you?
He's in his first year of starting, and, really he's had some great games, just, you know, has to get his feet settled, and I'm talking about philosophically, not, you know, not the actual footwork. He just needs to get, you know, calm down and say, okay, this is it, because when he does, he's just what we want. So I would expect he'd play a lot better this game.
Yeah, how important is this game for him, just, you know, moving into spring and then?
I think it's important for his team. I think it's important for the offense, defense, and special teams that we have a very quality quarterback effort, and I think that we'll get it.
So you changed your message to juniors over the years who are considering going to the pros. In other words, is it the same speech that it was 10 years ago, or just
No.
given how many guys have left, have you
It's-
changed that?
It's more knowledge, it's more, we wait till we get the NFL advice back, and when that advice returns, you know, we'll come alongside it, because whatever it says is truth. You know, I've been fortunate to be around one of those that said you'll be taken in the first 5 picks. It's Jamarcus Russell, and he's taken first. I've been around a guy that said that you'll be taken third, daggit if you're not taken in the third round. And so you know, it's from, you'll be taken in the top 10 picks, daggone it, taken 6th, 5th. So, I mean, I've not seen where the advice has been poor. And, you know, I choose to emphasize the people that know. It's interesting about this NFL. This NFL takes into account all the people that are going into the draft that year, and they've already done an evaluation on all the seniors. So the seniors are, they've got a draft board full of seniors at every position, okay? And for that junior to crack the lineup, he's got to play to a certain level, okay? And then when he does, it's pretty easy to see. But when he doesn't, and even though they could potentially, you know, play him, you know, in years, and he reached that level, he's not gonna get paid. You know, they're not gonna make a mistake and say, you know, he's worth more. You know, it's just the way it is. And, you know, you know, we give them everything we can, and certain guys, Michael Brockers, it just would have been a waste of time for him to come back. First round draft pick, 12th. Kiki Mingo, first round draft pick. I mean, there were 13 of them, you know what I mean, that you just said, it's time to go, as much as we'd love to have you back, so.
It's still the mantra of, if you're not gonna go in the first round though, we want you to come back.
Well, financially, the first round, if you're not, let's just say you're a late second round guy, well, then there'll be 32 that leave in front of you this year. And then a second round that will leave in front of you as well. So in other words, if you improve, like give an example, if you're Tyson Jackson, okay? If you're him and you say, well, all of the veteran offensive tackles will leave, seniors. All the best offensive tackles that are juniors will leave. All of the best defensive ends that are seniors will leave. All the best juniors will leave. And I'm third round. I think there's a legitimate chance that I could jump into the first round. He jumped to the third player taken, okay? If he had come out, he would have come out and got paid third round money for his first contract. His first contract, he got paid first round money, the old collective bargaining agreement where he could get $60+ million. I didn't want to give the exact number because you know, people liked it. But my point is it's pretty simple. When the veteran, Tyson Jackson, steps onto the field and plays against young tackles, he kills them. When they look at young defensive ends and young both the senior and junior defensive ends. And he's the senior defensive end that's, you know, prepared and done everything he's supposed to. He evaluates at a very high level. So that's, to me, if you're going to be business savvy, why get paid 2 rounds less than what you're worth? Okay, and then now, if you're a first rounder, I'm off. Let me tell you what I said to Jamarcus Russell. Let's have some cake. Let's have some fun.
Have you been able to see much out of Jakeem Grant yet, one of their wide receivers?
They're
The
really-
5'7"
Yeah.
wide receiver. Have you seen much of him yet?
Yes, he's lightning. He's a very talented guy. Absolutely, very capable.
How would he maybe compare to like Trenton Holiday?
Trenton Holiday was the 100-meter champion in track in the NC2A. So I would say that by speed, Trenton may well have had the advantage, but you know, I think he catches the ball pretty well, and I think he's nifty and shifty. And I think there's a lot of advantages that he has as well.
Lester, have y'all sent off those requests for evaluation?
Advice?
Yeah, the committee.
Most of them, I think.
And I know you can get just a minimum of 5, but you can ask for more. Have y'all asked for more?
Yeah, at times we ask for more.
Y'all will have, or y'all have?
I'm not saying.
Les, Leonard, the first 5 games of the season, he had touchdown runs of over 60 yards. In the back half of the season,
And in Syracuse, they called one back.
they called one back.
And we didn't play a game in the first half
Sure.
of the season, right? When
Yeah.
he's freshest and most alive.
In the back half of the season, he didn't have one over 32 yards. That was against Ole Miss. I know he had the one called back, you know, the big, I guess it was a screen, but is that just coincidence that he had all these long scoring touchdown runs?
The first play against Ole Miss was a 60-yard. First play called back.
Right.
I didn't remember it, to be honest with you.
Coincidence that he had all these long scoring runs in the first half of the season versus the back half, or, I mean,
I think we played some of our better teams in the back half. I think, you know, you line up against better defenses, it's more difficult to get some of those big ones. So I think we could have done a better job for him in several of those games offensively, and I think we will later. You know, he had to suffer with being considered Doak Walker Award winner and considered being invited to, fell short of being invited to the Heisman Trophy, and he was named to 2 All-American teams, which is as prestigious as anything there is. The Walter Camp All-American team is, wow. I mean, if you're on that, you've hit it. You're a consensus All-American.
he won't have a chip from the Heisman thing, will he? Or does
A
he?
chip?
A chip from not being a Heisman finalist.
I promise you, you know, when you're a guy that really plays to be an excellent, if there's an award that signifies that excellence, he's gonna want it. And certainly he's got at least another year to play for.
Did
Last,
anybody not,
we got a team meeting in here in like 2 minutes, so last
So
question.
you're gonna talk to me about, you're gonna ask me about the Dolphins and New York Giants game, correct? I mean, raise your hand if you want to hear me comment about the Giants and the Dolphins. Okay, I have a prediction, it's a lock. It's a lock, and honestly, you better parlay it, and I don't know what you guys, how you bet, but I think you bet. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. No, this is not for TV, okay, certainly not, okay? There's gonna be 3 New York Giants do extremely well. Odell Beckham certainly will do extremely well. Ruben Randall will do extremely well. And then, who's my third one? Pardon?
Wayne.
Oh, Brad Wing. But I don't know that he'll punt as often as he'd like. Now, on the Dolphins, again, I think there's going to be at least 2 guys do extremely well. One of which will be Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry will have a big game, and Kelvin Shepard will also have a big game. And then now, who do you guys think are going to win? I think I did a great job. Don't you think that was a
Absolutely.
noteworthy prediction and one in which,
Yes.
you know, you could bet the house, right?
All they were talking
Think
about
LSU
the
was
pregame
there.
show is, they were showing like the highlights from practice at LSU and
Are they
game
really?
film.
Are they really?
It's like 45 minutes worth of LSU stuff.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, you know what? It's, really are proud of those guys that are fortunate to play in that league and make a quality living and continue to represent their family, their state, and LSU, you know, for time. So, thank you.
See you guys.